Hello. I wasn't going to do one today. It's been a bit quieter, but it's just coming up to midday in the US, so nothing really happens in the morning here, or just through the day really. But today I spoke to my old man and he said, "Oh, I'm going for the jab." I said, "You don't want that shit." And he said, "No lectures, I've made my mind up, I'm going for it." So that's fair enough. I can't tell people not to watch the TV and turn off the news any fucking more. So that now updates the amount of people in my family that want to speak to me about any of this stuff to zero. Mum's having the jab, she won't have none of it. Mind you, I'm not worried about them getting a jab at all, because honestly I don't think it's coming. If they do start sticking people with anything, I think it'll be a relabelled flu jab, some saline solution or something like that. I don't think, trusting the plan and watching everything that's going down, that is happening. I do believe all this stuff on the TV is, whether it's the deep state's last attempt to try and convince people into taking it, or whether it's, the white hats, last thing to wake people up. But you've got loads of stuff coming up now, people posting about, oh, this was from a different date and that date and stuff, and other things. One bloke's having a vaccination through his sleeve. Someone else said it's a retracting needle. You got that lady coming down the hallway making her Masonic hand signals and stuff. I mean, I think it's just pantomime. But we shall wait and see. I know what I'm doing. Hold up a minute. That's annoying. I can't find that now. Hold up a minute. Oh. This is one of the things I'm doing. I've printed off, I've had it ready to print off years ago. Physician's warranty of vaccine safety. I, the physician, and the physician, blah blah blah, and the county of my whatever my medical speciality is, I have a thorough understanding of the risks and benefits of all the medications that I prescribe for or administer to my patients, and whom I've examined, blah blah blah, right? Protect them against risk factor, all sorts of stuff. I am aware that vaccines typically contain many of the following filters: aluminium or aluminum hydroxide, aluminium phosphate, ammonium sulfate, amphotericin B, whatever that is, animal tissues, pig blood, horse blood, rabbit brain, dog kidney, monkey kidney, chicken embryo, chicken egg, duck egg, calf bovine serum, beta propiolactone, fetal bovine serum, formaldehyde, formalin, gelatin, glycerol, human diploid cells originating from human aborted fetal cells. That is MRC5. See, anything with MRC5 on it, you now know what that is. hydrolyzed gelatin, mercury thimerosal, monosodium glutamate, neomycin sulfate, phenol red indicator, potassium, blah blah blah, porcine, pig, pancreatic hydrolysate of casein, residual MRC5 proteins. There you go. Sorbitol, viral cells in a continuous line of monkey kidney cells, and washed sheep red blood. There's also a load of other stuff on there as well. I shall say, you want to fucking stick me, you can sign that first, because I of sound mind know that my immune system can protect me far better from a disease with a 99.98 recovery rate, better than a vaccine that has been rushed through its trials, has skipped animal testing, and is only 94% effective. And when Bill Gates was testing out his vaccines in India, he killed thousands of children. People won't listen to you though, will they, when you watch this about Bill Gates? No, I'm not watching that. So, anyway, I've had a little rant. Let's just have a quick look at what's going on, because I haven't really been that fussed about it today, if I've been honest with you. What am I doing? I'll just a couple of headlines there. Cynthia Johnson, that lady that has been making the two threats, the bald-headed lady that we've seen a bit of lately, she has been had her collar felt, or she's been told off, or whatever. Seth Rich is back in the news. He was the guy that they think leaked all the Clinton emails and the DNC server stuff to WikiLeaks years ago, which is why Democrats had him killed, or whoever had him killed. And now the FBI has said, oh, do you know what? We have got his laptop, and is it 20,000 of the emails or something like that? I can't remember. It was yesterday. I'll be thinking about other things. Senator Surfing was saying, is this Hunter Biden at Gitmo? There's more states joining this Texas lawsuit. I think there's up to 19 now, maybe more. What this is all about is Trump is taking everyone down. I think I read you that tweet yesterday. The FBI, CIA, Pharma, the banks, the lot, the whole shebang. And he wants the, I think it's called the trifecta out there, where he wins the presidency, the House and the Senate. And when he's done that, that will give him a lot more power to crack on, do what he's going to do. I think he's, trapped or whatever. It's another lightless sting in the operation. I think Charlie Ward says as well, they've done this with the vaccination as well, that they've let them rush this vaccination through to catch them, because they know it's unsafe, and it's just another nail in their coffin that they will use against them in the legal process of taking the cabal down. So honestly, I mean, I'm not worried, but that's my own personal opinion. If you are worried about taking the vaccine, know your rights. Say you don't want to have it, but look into it. It won't be mandatory, and if anyone is stuck with anything, I don't think it'll be anything too nasty. Although Charlie Ward was talking about those 100 people that signed the NDA that died, but we don't know what that was. That was the Bill Gates vaccine, I think. or the Moderna or whatever. But there's reports, isn't there, from the NHS that 2 of the first people that have had whatever vaccine it may be have developed complications and are not very well. Now, even that might be part of a ploy to wake people up, mightn't it? They might have made that up so that more people that were going, oh, I'm definitely having it, are going to go, you know what, I'll get to the back of the queue, thank you. We know a lot of people are scared and want to get back out there, but when, you know, you got to blame the mainstream media for that, pushing this fear campaign. Because if you research, you know, this is nothing more than the flu. The flu's disappeared. You've heard all this from me before. I'm not rattling on about it again. We'll have a look down here. Now, Trump apparently has made an action memorandum to the. It's the 57 action memorandum which JFK did in 1961. Trump has activated it, and it's all to do with taking down the CIA. Now, obviously, we know with Gina Haspel been arrested, and wherever she is, and whatever her name is now, that's what he wants to do. So we know the military sort of have put 10 days free now, haven't they? Starting from, I think it's today or tomorrow. So everyone's talked about 10 days of darkness for a long time. Will it happen? Won't it happen? But it's now 10 days, 11 days till the 21st, isn't it? When all the planets align. So 48 states have now filed lawsuits against Facebook. There's lots of people on Facebook today saying Facebook's over, they're going to shut it down. So if you've got an FB account, back it up. It's easy to do. Click on settings, go to my information and create a file, and it just downloads. I did one yesterday just in case, but I've got all backup accounts. I'm not really bothered about Facebook anyway. There's so much sensitive on there you can't do. So I'm going to Parler next. Well, I'm on Parler anyway, but if I'm not there, then I'll be going to Gab, LinkedIn, Rumble, MeWe, whatever. You've got to got to keep chatting, haven't you? But if everything goes dark for 10 days and we can't talk to each other, just conserve your food and chill out. It would be nice if all the TVs come on with the emergency broadcast system telling everyone what was going on, because that would be the global red pillar. Anyway, I mean, I've sent this picture out to a couple of people lately, and you have to ask, don't you? You have to ask yourself, what a conspiracy theorist gains from bringing you these uncomfortable truths. We don't get paid for it. We certainly don't get thanked. We use our own time. We are hated, shouted at, mocked and alienated. At what stage are you going to ask yourself, why? Well, I do it for fun. No, I do it because I want everyone awake. Kirsten W. Monkey Words had a brilliant chat this afternoon, so go and watch that. That's a load of rubber army wagons. This is beautiful. Check this little lad out here. This is what the world needs. Loads of this. Come on. Look at this old girl's face.
Free to be myself. Free to need some time. Free to need some help. So I'm reaching, baby, out.
He could have given her a cuddle, couldn't he? He would have done if he was a bit older, I think. But, fair play to you, fella. What a beautiful thing to do. Look at her face. That has made her day. Oh, I went when I watched it the first time. Held it together then. Powerful image. Nothing to do with the virus, is it? Blah, blah, blah. Not allowed in church. Because the deep state are Luciferian. And this is what it is all about. Here we go, this bird's great.
And do you realise that you would have no clue about Corona if your television hadn't told you? Or any mainstream media? You wouldn't really have a clue, would you? You wouldn't know there was a pandemic. And if there was a pandemic, you wouldn't even need them to tell you. It would be so obvious. A deadly pandemic would be obvious. You wouldn't need anyone to convince you, because you'd see it with your own eyes. And do you realise that you would...
Short and sweet. Perfect. Now, I don't watch football anymore, but this geezer here, I raise my glass to all us non-racist people who refuse to be bullied into taking the knee and who live in harmony within our communities. Tonight we ask all UK football teams to stop taking the knee and just get on with it, playing football. Fair comment, mate. Chin chin to you. Up the Arsenal. But they are shit, aren't they? Was Christine Fang on the DNC payroll as Code Monkey? Well, it looks like she was, doesn't it? Anon's doing the digging. Beautiful. Whitker now, bombshell just now. The Biden story is the tip of the iceberg. Without giving away too much intelligence, that was 14 hours ago, I can tell you a lot of other people in government are under Chinese influence. Mayors, governors, it will all be coming out. We've had the briefings on this. TikTok. Right, and this is... Every waking moment is about one purpose: saving American lives by delivering safe and effective coronavirus therapeutics and vaccines. I do believe when they roll this vaccine out to people that are desperate for it, you know, there's got to be 100 million Americans, probably, a third of the country, that are enamoured, you know, by the CNN and all this stuff, that are desperate for a vaccine, won't go out of the house until they've had one. I reckon it will be a beautiful dose of hydroxychloroquine on whatever. So we shall see about that. Let's just play this guy.
I've been appointed as the co-leader of this task force. Every waking moment is about one purpose. And Dr. Slawi and I have this purpose together. Right? It is about saving American lives. There is nothing else that has our focus but saving American lives. And we're doing that, right, by delivering safe and effective therapeutics and vaccines to the American people. And how did this come to fruition? As quickly said earlier by Dr. Slawi, it's come to fruition because of our approach being a whole of America effort. Right? It was led at the government, at the highest levels of the government, by Secretary Azar and Secretary Miller of the Department of Defense. It has been supported and collaborated by our great industry partners that are represented here today, and I'll call some out in the future. But trust me when I tell you, we couldn't do it without them. Since the moment...
Right. I was listening to Charlie Ward and One Eye Saving earlier, and One Eye Saving told this little story about Donald Trump, which is amazing, and how he's a master of 5D chess. Now, a couple of years back, I think, the Iranians captured one of the US drones, I think, and it was worth $30 million. Anyway, they were all out to go for war, weren't it? Everyone's trying to get Trump to go to war. So, this is when people were going, well, if he's got people like John Bolton in his cabinet, you know, complete warmongers like that, Trump must be bad. Anyway, Trump has people in like this with him to draw out all the others. So what happened was, it was right at the end, and all the warships were going, all the planes were fired up on the flight decks of these aircraft carriers, ready to go in, rescue this drone. And Trump was, you know, he had the pen or whatever, or he was on the phone, and he basically said, you know, he saw all the generals and all the people that wanted this war, and he drew them all out, and then he went, right at the last minute, he went, how many people is it? Well, he was asking them, how many people is this going to kill? You know, what's the collateral damage? They were going 100 people, maybe 200 people tops, something around that. Really? Can't we make it any more? Any less? And they were going, no, 100 people. And right at the last minute, Trump called it off. And he said, it's only $30 million. And one Iranian life is worth more, obviously, than $30 million. And he called it off. And then he leaked the story of what he's done. So he's got a lot of the Iranian people on side of that, which is one of the fastest growing Christian nations, I believe. And when they take these deep state cabal heads out, you know, it's just, I think that was a really good story, that, and just make me like Trump even more. So I thought I'd tell you. Temple of Apollo on the Rothschilds estate. I don't need to play that to you. I will do, actually.
Is the Temple of Apollo on the Rothschild estate. They talk about Lucifer being God, and the initiates of the higher order of the Masonic religion following the Luciferian doctrine. These people here, they support the socialist agenda, but are they socialists? No. See, communism is not a creation of the masses to overthrow the banking establishment. It's a creation of the banking establishment to overthrow and enslave the masses. The leadership of communism isn't really run from Moscow, Beijing, Hanoi, or Havana. It's always been run from London, New York, and Washington, D.C. It's not a movement of the poor, it's a movement of the rich. The people think they're getting something for nothing. They're going to take from the rich and give to the poor. These sheep are like so many of you who don't recognize that you're being sheared, that don't recognize what is before your very eyes. But the people, the sheeple here, just going along with the surrender of the national sovereignty, going along with the enslavement, going on with those things which are intolerable. When you accept the intolerable, you wake up in the morning and a nation is slave.
He's not wrong. Let's check that on the PC screen. Not recording. Yeah. It's made me laugh. Can't stand Bono, but look at this. To you. Love that. What a band they were. Joe Biden's brother James also under federal investigation, if he's not down at the spa already in an orange jumpsuit. Wouldn't you know? Now, a lot of people saying they use that. I've been looking for this today. This was on 22nd of October, but I can't find that anywhere, so I'll just put that up there. Now, Code Monkey, Parler is compromised, don't use it. Now, I've been reading a bit about this today and people saying this, that and everything, but it's working for me at the moment. And I didn't have to give them, loads of people saying, oh, I had to give them my passport and driving licence. I didn't have to do any of that. I just went bosh, bosh, here's a password, done. So that works for me at the minute, but eyes on everything. Here we go, IKEA alert, there's no COVID. Yeah, no one's worried about December the 6th, IKEA. Oh, is that in Sweden? Oh, it is Sweden by the looks of it. Yeah, I thought that was there. Obviously not. Yeah, they're fine. They had no lockdown or nothing, did they? You've got to see this. This is hilarious, especially for the UK viewers. Clueless. Remember this, do we? That's when everyone's called him Trump a buffoon. But that's when she capitulated power. That bloke there, you can go and look at him if you like. Steve Mudflat McGrew. Not playing that. Oh, Splinter, yeah. JC was small businesses should stay closed forever. Yeah, that was great from JP. Joe, and that you can. You can go and read that if you like and pause it. Make no mistake, the rest of Big Tech will be following YouTube's lead shortly. Eventually, Trump's Twitter account will be removed and a full-on blackout by Big Tech will be put into motion. Prepare alternative means of communications now, so you aren't caught off guard. Yeah, well, I bought myself a carrier pigeon today, so we'll be alright. Here's another one. November 2016, Rick Snyder and Mick Duggan visit China on an extravagant investment mission. March the 1st, 2017, Michigan begins new contract with Dominion Voting Systems. Gretchen Whitmer there. That cooperation is the only correct answer. Chinese relations, they're you know, they're all at it. Hunter Biden, Supreme Court, the biggest election lawsuit.
Yeah. Now look, you see the president's tweeted something there, and you can't see what it is. You have to then click a button, then you get to see what it is, but you still can't see the video. You then have to go inside that, further that doesn't show you what it is. You then have to click that view button down there. It then opens up, then you can click play. And what is it? What's that video? That's CNN and Lou Dobbs on CNN. It's the clip that we played you 2 weeks ago here. Talking about foreign, Venezuelan-linked, Dominion, Smartmatic voting systems. From years and years and years ago.
There you go, you don't need to watch any more of that, but you get the message of that. This is his truck driver that blew the whistle about all these fake ballots he had to transport in his lorry, and I gave the FBI information about my trailer full of ballots, and then what they want to do with it instead of investigating the information is go and start harassing my family. So there's a lot of corruption in the FBI, you know, high up leadership. So 17 states, that was 17 yesterday, but I think it's 19 now. Here she is again. I'm not even going to play that, making more threats. But she's had, she's been told off. There's Trump again. I don't know. I showed you that yesterday. Oh no, I didn't.
Some of these scientific officials here in this room have encouraged Americans not to travel this holiday season, not to go to large gatherings. Across the street, you've been holding holiday parties with hundreds of people, many not wearing masks. Why are you modeling a different behavior to the American people than what your scientists tell?
Well, they're Christmas parties, and frankly, we've reduced the number very substantially, as you know. And I see a lot of people at the parties wearing masks. I mean, I would say that I look out at the audience at those parties, and we have a lot of people wearing masks, and I think that's a good thing. Yeah.
Now, fuck off. That's what he's saying. You can see all these... that's what we're waiting for, that there. Look to Twitter, exactly this, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us. He'll definitely turn his Twitter off then. I wonder if they've got a backdoor into Twitter, so if they shut his account down, the NSA or something can bosh that tweet on quickly. Oh, there's a thought, isn't there? How long to get some good sleep? That's today. You can have a read through that if you... Hunter Biden says his taxis are under investigation. Well, we think Hunter Biden is down there. Time to execute. There's all the troops getting ready. What's this? Right, now, I tweeted that yesterday. This is Anna Kate talking about the Seth Rich laptop with some guy who was in the passenger seat. She was driving. Facebook sued by 48 state attorneys. Back your Facebook accounts up, because they're gone. Michigan State, right, here we go. Michigan State Republican Cynthia Johnson is stripped of her assignments and is under investigation for her threats against Trump supporters posted on social media on Tuesday night. There we go, don't need to say anything about that. Exactly right. Knowingly, exactly right. Knowingly. That's what they want. Certify the ballots, if you like. Certify them. When you know they're fraudulent, that's you done. Background statements. The FBI's on it. You know, the good guys in the FBI are on it. That didn't take long. Karma. Threatening Trump supporters as dire consequences. Is that her again? Yeah. Idiots. Trump stand back to the left. Oh my god. I've tweeted that twice. There was just a lot sort of going on yesterday evening. Monkeyworks has tracked this. Ah, right. Not to shoot a hole in the entire battle theory currently underway with regards to CONUS, which is continental United States. But it seems to me that if all hands were on deck domestically, boats wouldn't be departing to Guam. Just saying. So, Guam. He was talking about it being a very relaxed situation, because his talk, isn't there, of the Deep State's final plan was to bring in the United Nations army into the United States and take over, drag Trump out of office and take over, which is why Trump has positioned all these aircraft carriers and troops around. So I think the United Nations have had a butchers at that and thought, fuck that, no chance. And I think all the troops who are on the ground, Special Forces and National Guard, are for two purposes. One, Special Forces definitely to make arrests swift and fast. And if you know what Monkeyworks was saying about these teams, these are the elitist of the elite, Special Forces and they will get a target and they will go and get it. End of. But the National Guard, I think, are going to be deployed to stamp out Antifa if they give it a big one. Because Gavin Newsom, Governor of California, when he spent $1 billion getting PPE, masks and shit from China, apparently there was loads of weapons in it. So apparently he's got all those weapons in and ready to go. So it could go off, but I can't see anyone going up against the US military in the US and lasting too long. So be safe out there, people. Joe Biden, I'm not even going to play that, don't want to use his voice. Tina, I showed you that yesterday, didn't I? Yeah, I did show you that yesterday. I'll tell you what I'm going to do then. I'm going to go back and we'll finish up with JP today, because he is good. And he's talking about small businesses.
Yeah, my check.
Oh, I'll just pause him a minute. Put him on big for you.
Yeah, my check finally cleared, but I had to open a second account. My first one literally had too much money in it. You know how it goes. Small businesses need to stay closed. Good evening, little people. Here's what we want you to believe today. And pay close attention. We'll be emotionally manipulating you with fear to get you to believe what doesn't make any logical sense to you. COVID cases are spiking. There it is. Leading the charge against humanity is the most trusted man in the country, Communist Newsom, who's announced he'll be ordering all California businesses to close for another 3 weeks, followed by a period of forever. The only way to fight a virus that carries a 99.98% survival rate is with poverty that we're getting you to create for yourself. And if you don't think that makes sense, then remember to be afraid so you'll comply out of your emotional reactivity. This just in. Science has proven that poverty is immune boosting. According to scientific studies that haven't happened, small businesses are cesspools for death and disease, as they always have been. Meanwhile, large national chains like Costco, Target, Home Depot, and Amazon are tasked with the burden of receiving what's left of your money, if you even have any left. To explain how keeping small businesses shut down forever is in your best interest, please pay close attention to the following sequence of events that you're in the middle of right now. You keep your business closed, which means you go into poverty. You and everyone else is then dependent on the government for aid. Then everyone votes for increased government control so they can get financial aid and handouts from the government, while having to stay strictly compliant with the government mandates in order to qualify for the handouts. I wonder if the bread lines will be gluten-free. Now, if this sounds like you're ushering in and then living in a socialist communist state, it's because you will be. But we're calling it something different so you don't realize it yet. We're calling it COVID relief. But it's really just relief from the economic destruction that we've told you to do to yourself. Now, actions speak louder than words, and our loudly spoken words are, we're not doing this. Yet our actions show that we are. But because you're watching me right now to have me tell you what to think, that means you're not thinking for yourself and therefore are dumb enough to fall for this. So we'll carry on. COVID relief. Now those are words that make you feel like the elite are protecting you, so you'll trust them, right?
And I've done my best to do that.
Nobody could do it better, Gav. Close your business to protect yourself and society. It's the right thing to do. Destroying your livelihood and staying committed to going deep enough into poverty for long enough so we'll eventually give you a little bit of money is a financial plan you can trust. However, numerous California county sheriffs have come forward saying they won't enforce any more of Communist Newsom's ridiculous rules because they are both destructive and unconstitutional. In his very non-dictator-like ways, Newsom responded by warning these counties that if they don't enforce his rules, they could lose COVID relief funds. So in other words, shut your businesses down so you'll need our financial aid. That's like saying if you want to be happy, then get depressed so we can give you antidepressants to make you happy. And I think we all know that's the only way to be happy. These sheriffs who serve and protect the public appear to be brave enough to protect the public from corrupt people in positions of power who are saying they're protecting the public. And unfortunately, that's just not scientific. And be sure to believe my super solid use of the term scientific.
This is really solid.
As is everything you say, good sir. The business owner who owns Pineapple Hill Saloon had her business shut down. Right next door to her outdoor dining setup, Hollywood elites were allowed to place their outdoor dining setup. The business owner, who was shamefully stricken with tears, obviously doesn't understand that the Hollywood elite are elite, and that she is not. Hollywood is an essential business now tasked with ushering in acceptance of socialism through entertainment. Similar to sheriffs, numerous business owners are standing up in the face of tyranny as they disobey orders to open their businesses. Like this man who owns coffee in Escondido, California.
Coffee here in Escondido will not be closing down.
As you can clearly see, this man is a domestic terrorist out to kill people by serving his community and earning a living for his family. Insert Corona is dangerous rhetoric here that nobody believes anymore. This just in! We at the mainstream media will not report on brave people defying draconian orders to open their businesses. We don't want you to see hugely growing numbers of people choosing bravery and common sense over fear. Because we don't want you to be inspired to do the same. We won't show it to you. Instead, be afraid so you stay weak and compliant by considering this. COVID will kill you 100% of the time. Except for 99.98% of the time. This news update proves small businesses need to stay closed forever. You are a little person who would be nothing without us. Luckily, we'll continue telling you what to think, because we're protecting you.
His quality is I'm pretty sure people are going to bow their heads in shame when they realised how hoodwinked they've been by the mainstream media when they'll get taken down. Me, I'll still do what I do though, trying to wake people up, being here for people when they do wake up. The only people that speak to me now really are all the trooper buds that were on the same buzz, and you know, everyone else thinks I'm a nutter anyway, so I might as well carry on, mightn't I? The only way is up, baby. Right, I was going to do a little short one, wasn't I? At 43 minutes. Right. What day is it? Thursday, is it? Have a lovely day. If it all goes dark, don't stress. Trump and the global military are taking out the scum. Be safe. Lots of love.